Welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. My name is Agnes van Rhijn. I am a holistic business mentor to professional women who want to reach their full potential in life and in business, but without giving up who they are and what is important to them. Hence the name of my business, Success, Yes, but on your own terms. I'm also the founder and the host of the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. And today at the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show, it's my privilege to be interviewing Maru Iabichela. She is an international speaker and transformational coach, helping entrepreneurs to tap into their authenticity in order to build happy and prosperous businesses and lives. She built her own success from the ground up after hitting rock bottom and learning that the only path to success is to be true to oneself. Her comeback has allowed her the privilege of coaching individuals from 17 countries and growing, as well as the ability and freedom to travel wide and far to share her message. Welcome to the Woman Makes Things Happen show, Maru. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Anya. Super happy to be here. Thank you so much for the intro.
I'm so pleased to have you. We were just discussing very briefly the fact that I think it's something like 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago, you and I had a session. Yeah. You wanted to be coached around how to be more conscious of money in a business setting, etc. And I'm just astonished when I look at how far you have come since that session. It's just amazing. So tell us more about it. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into this interview. Please watch till the end. I have quite a bit to share with you that I'll try to squeeze in the time we have. About 1.5 to 2 years ago, I had a conversation with Agnes precisely because my money story and my money patterns at the time were not healthy, and I wasn't able to create sustainable success in my business. I was very inconsistent. I had tons of debt. My credit here in the US where I live was rubbish. I'm still recovering from that. But anyway, it was just as a new entrepreneur, like coming across these money blocks and not being able to make money, and then whenever I made money to keep it. That's something that you really helped me get a jump start in. So I really want to thank you for that. And everyone jump on board and get a session with this woman. She's amazing. You really helped me create consciousness around building a healthier relationship with money. But what's happened since then, it's been nothing short of transformational and miraculous. I just, this is the beginning of 2017, and for 2016, I brought in $500,000 in revenue, which I'm still like saying, thank you, God. And I created that, and I still don't know exactly how it came to pass. And I'll get into a story, because all I did was pray, wish for, and take action so that I could provide a stable home for my child, because I became a single mom. And I don't wish that upon anybody, but it was definitely fuel to my fire. And 2015 was a year where I was able to have more sustainable and consistent success in my business. And then 2016 came around, and I would make money and drain it. I would make money and drain it. I would make money and drain it. And February last year, after becoming a single mom, I was like, I'm done. If this is how it's going to be, I don't want it. And I'm smarter than this. And I'm going to figure out a way to take off and never have to worry about money again. And I'm paraphrasing, because the story was much deeper and much more frustrating than that. But essentially what happened was that me having an ultimatum with myself and God and the universe gave me a push to download an idea that has now helped me not only change my life, but change hundreds and almost thousands of people's lives in a short period of time. And that idea is called infinite receiving. So there's been aspects to my journey that have been sad and have had a lot of despair in them. But one thing that has allowed me to shift it and transform it and make it happen, like your show is called, has been to turn it into fuel to my fire. Instead of a reason for me to be like, oh, why is the universe not showing up for me? Why is everything happening to everybody else and not me? Why is this happening to me? I've been like, okay, you know what? I will do what it takes to leave this story behind so far that it feels like another lifetime. And that's what I did last year and the previous year.
It's been, well, I am in one of your groups, and I've followed your program. It's just amazing. And you've skyrocketed somehow. I mean, it's just incredible. But I find indeed that it is an extremely interesting topic, that receiving part, in particular for women. We tend to give, but we are very bad at receiving. And that's a notion that you're helping a lot of women with. That makes such a huge difference when you have that capacity to receive. Can you tell us more about that? Yes, she loves to.
I will love to. Yes, this is one of my favorite topics, obviously. But when I was in that moment of, okay, I need to turn things around now, because now I'm a single mom and I got to provide a stable home for my child. And I literally I drove to a hotel and I said, I'm going to stay here until I figure some things out. And I'm not kidding. I heard a voice. I heard a message in my head that said, you only get what you have the capacity to receive. And I come from a very grounded reality. Okay, I had 10 years in corporate, so this whole woo-woo stuff is not new to me, but it's not something that I was willing to come out of the closet with. So y'all hang with me here for a second. And so I literally heard this message that said, you only get what you have the capacity to receive. And I was like, well, if that's true, then my bank account has plenty of capacity there to receive money. Why am I not getting money? Yeah, I don't get this. But I stuck with it and I explored what that phrase could mean to me. And basically what I learned from that is that you're getting precisely what you have the capacity to get in your life right now. If all your answers were, all your prayers were answered right now, it could be a disaster in your life. It could be such an earthquake to your soul and your life. You know, it would not be ecological for you to get everything you wanted right now. If Oprah called you right now and she said, let's go jump on the couch, I mean, you may even have a heart attack. Who knows? I know I would. So it's basically what I learned is that we have to get busy with expanding our capacity to receive all our dreams and expand our ability to say yes to more things and handle them and manage them. So I've come up with 40 very common blocks to receiving that most women do, most women have. And it's crazy because they're so not obvious. And that's what makes infinite receiving different, that a lot of people talk about receiving, but the way that I teach it is very practical. So when I had that moment in the car that told me, you only get what you have the capacity to receive, and I started asking questions like, what does that mean? I have plenty of room to take on clients, so I have the capacity to receive clients, but you mean that energetically or emotionally, I can't handle it. And that was the truth. I couldn't handle getting all the clients that I was asking for at the time because I was going through a lot of turmoil internally. So I had a phrase that came to me as well in that moment, and I started repeating the mantra. And within 25 minutes, someone had wired me $7,500. And that was like a good chunk of money for having been through almost a month of drought of no money. So I was like, wow, that was cool. And of course, that was an accident. That was a coincidence. That didn't have anything to do with what I thought. That was too easy. So clearly, you just keep doing your thing. But something told me that there might be something to it. So long story short, I started sharing with people what I heard and what happened to me. In 5 days, I had received $31,000 out of the blue. And I was like, wow, this is freaky. Could there be something to what I heard in the car? Could there, and I was just very skeptical, very, very skeptical, because it was very different from what I was doing at the time. So I hope it's okay if I keep going telling the story.
No, go ahead, because I will explain afterwards, but it has had a huge impact on the way I relate to my own business as well. So please do. People will better understand my comments afterwards.
Good. Okay. So anyway, I thought it was a fluke. I thought, because this meant, if it was true, it meant a whole change in my path, in my marketing, in my business. As a matter of fact, I literally took my website down, as you found out. I have no website. I have a coming soon page that's been there for almost a year. And even with that, I made all that money. Yeah. So what I came to understand is that, yes, there was something to receiving. And as I was practicing and becoming aware of the blocks, and I was dealing with them one by one, my capacity to receive income, success, clients, opportunities blew up like crazy in a matter of literally like a week. And then it just kept increasing after that. After that, I got a free home. My parents gifted me a house. They gifted me a car. I still pay them something on it, because that's an agreement, but they literally just put the house keys in my hands. The car, I got a free vacation, just some parts. I mean, things were happening that had no sense of logic, no sense or logic. And I was like, this is just crazy. So anyway, I ended up doing a video telling my story. I wasn't intending to sell anything. I just said, listen, this is what happened to me. And this is how I think you're blocking your money. Boom, the thing goes viral. I got 40 testimonials in 5 days. People saying once they watched the webinar, they got a scholarship. Once they watched the webinar, they had a call from an attorney that a legal battle of 9 years was resolved. One woman said to me that she could move a 400-pound table by herself, that she hadn't been able to move for a long time. I mean, crazy stuff that I'm like, this makes no sense to me. And I don't know what people are going to think of me because this makes no sense. So fast forward to, I had an idea to just teach a little class. I said, you know what, let's expand on this. Let me teach a class. I had 98 people sign up for $123. And the rest is history. Like, I've taught the class 3.5 times. I've traveled the world. I've been to London that I couldn't see you there. I went to Greece. I've been to Canada. Ended up in Mexico. I mean, it's taken me all over the world. It's earned me recognition from people like Lisa Nichols, Vishen Lakhiani, Mind Valley. So it's just like, clearly, yes, I'm unbelievable people. And so for me, it's it's know that I'm special. I think we all have this gift and this ability to tap into our truth and source. But you have to create the space to receive. And you really have to listen to what I have to say in terms of unblocking yourself, because I believe that ask and you shall receive. It's real. It's not just that it has to happen every once in a while. It's just that we keep the door to the universe locked because we think it's too easy. You think it's too easy to just ask and receive, so you complicate it. And so your language, your behaviors, your thought patterns, the way you talk to people, how you put people on pedestals. There's so many ways that we're blocking ourselves. And I'll be happy to talk about the main blocks if you want.
I would love you to give us, because having worked with you in your program, I know about it, but the listeners, the viewers, not necessarily. So please go ahead.
Oh yeah. So in this awareness, I've also downloaded just very clear understandings of how we block ourselves. One of a very common block is do not ask for help. So, you do the dishes, the laundry, take care of the kids and the husband and the job and the finances and the bills, and you're frustrated. So you think you're being of service to your family, but truly you're just accommodating, and you're being a doormat by keeping your mouth shut and not asking for help, even though you want it, need it, and deserve it. And it's the same in business, right? Like you're saving a dime and a penny, and you want to do everything, so you save a dime and a penny, and you're not asking for help with certain things that you could be freeing you up to create what's going to make you $1 million or the more money. So asking for help is huge. And I think as women, we're nurturers. We want to prove that we're super women. And so in that sense, we're getting it all wrong, because when we were kids, we were totally dependent. We needed to depend on somebody. Then when you're an adolescent, you wanted to be independent. You wanted to emancipate. You wanted to be on your own. And then when you become an adult, you need to realize we're interdependent.
Yeah.
And so you playing that card of I'm independent, woman, stop it. Yes, of course, it's okay if you want to provide for yourself, but it's okay for you to say, I need help.
I told it, I think a few interviews ago, I gave that example that you are aware about, that when I left that toxic relationship 3 years ago and lost everything, the very first thing that I did, other than looking inside and finding answers inside, was to ask for help. I posted in a private Facebook group, the Lucky Bitch group, the Denise Dutfield Thomas, and a very long post to say, in essence, this is what happened. I need help. Who can help me? Who can show me what to do? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just amazing what came out of that. It's making such a difference.
Absolutely. And anyway, it's just it's fun. So that's a huge block. It's very common. I'll dive into others, like Saving the best for last. How many of you can relate to having makeup, clothes, shoes, massage gift cards, travel ideas, vouchers, things that you're saving for someday to use? It's like we hoard. You hoard. You're like, oh, I'll have this, but sometimes it's a memory thing. It's like you don't remember. But I'm here to tell you that you're blocking your receiving because you've received a gift. You've received an opportunity from the universe, from a spouse, from a store or something. It's like it's something that has tremendous value, as good as cash, and you're not using it. So what is that telling the universe in the bigger picture? It's like,
what's the message?
Yeah, what you're sending me, I'm not cashing in, but I'm asking for more. But what I have, I'm not using. You're not going to get more. So you need to get busy cashing in on the value you have. Things like putting people on pedestals is another huge block to receiving, right? It's like when you put somebody on a pedestal like they're better than me, whether it's a guy, a husband, a mentor, a celebrity. The antidote in infinite receiving is we're all peers in the human experience. I don't care if I'm making money or not making money, if I'm a street sweeper or if I'm Oprah. We're human peers. Yeah. There's something at the core of it that makes us the same. Our DNA structure, the way we were formed from 2 cells into human beings, the way we were birthed, we're peers in the human experience, right? So that's a huge one, because when you shrink, when you close the gap between you and those people that you tend to put up, you actually get closer to them energetically. That's how I've been able to make friends with a lot of those people that...
It's an issue of self-worth, in fact, is you consider that you're worth less than them if you put them on a pedestal.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's a block to receiving, right? Because I when I used to put people on pedestals, there's a guy local here. He's really popular and he's well known in the inspirational personal development community. And I used to get nervous, really nervous every time I would go see him. And I told him that one day, and he's the one that got me started on this subject. He said, Maru, you're my peer. Like, I see you as my peer, as my friend. And I was like, really? But you're on TV, you're stuff. And I was just like, wow, he sees me as his peer. That really started closing the gap. So when I would meet people like Beyonce's dad or Matt Knowles or like other people that I thought were pretty cool and famous, I started addressing them more like my peers. They're my peers. So that was a big shift, for sure. Things like our language, when you say, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh my God, no way, or eek, things like that. What are you saying? Like, have you checked yourself lately? Basically what you're saying is, if I say, Anya, here's your dreams in a platter, here's all of them. And you go like, oh my God, I can't believe, whatever your reaction of disbelief is, stop acting shocked with your own awesomeness. You're amazing. All the incredible things that are happening and that will happen to you, you've created them. Stop acting so shocked with them. I get that maybe that's not what you're used to, but in order to welcome more of them, you got to normalize them. Because if every time something that shows up at your door, it's going to cause you to go like, oh my God, this is so amazing, and I cry. It's like the universe is like, oh, I'm not sure if I should, I don't want to give you a heart attack. I don't want to preserve you. So it's like, no, you want to be like, yes, I am so grateful for this. You can be happy, you can cry, and you can say more, please. I had a very amazing day yesterday because I am hosting a live event for the first time ever, and it's 100 people in a really nice hotel in my town in Texas, and it feels very surreal. And yesterday I was about to throw up with excitement and fear at the same time. So I definitely was having those moments of like, oh my God. And I just kept checking myself, of like, no, Maru, this is normal. This is what happens when you keep pushing past your edges.
Yeah.
When you keep, pushing the envelope and going for bigger and better. And I can see now why a lot of people don't do that, because I literally felt like throwing up all day and crying. I was crying tears of fear. At the same time, reminding myself that I'm okay. So I know enough to know that I'm okay, but I see why most people would stop and quit, because it doesn't feel good in the body. So
this whole notion of using fear as a fuel as opposed to letting paralyze you. I very often use that expression, but it's not because you know all these things that you don't experience fear. You're not quote unquote Wonder Woman. You are a human being. And so, but you recognize it and then you act upon it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. It's not that because I know these things, I love that you should quote yourself on that. It's not because I know these things that I don't experience fear. It's because I recognize them, that I'm able to move past them. Exactly. So it's true. And I'm able to label them as for what they are. You know, it's expansion. That's it. I would say those are some of the most common blocks. I mean, I have a guide of 40 that I can share with your audience as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty amazing how we really block our receiving. You know, there's just so many other things that I could go into, like discriminating the source of receiving. You know, so many of us want the receiving to occur from PayPal, from a credit, from clients, you know, from invoices paid. That's one way. You know, some of us, you may have a family member, you may have a spouse, you may have the lottery, a bank or a boss help you by giving you a check or by giving you a winning or giving you something. And some of us will have shame that we haven't yet produced from our businesses, right?
Hard work.
What was that? Through hard work, yeah. Precisely. So if it's not the result of hard work, then I haven't earned it. Then it must not mean. No, you gotta stop it. You know, stop that, because that was the universe's way of supporting you at that moment in time. And by you saying, no, I don't want it from my husband, or no, I don't want it from the credit card, or no, I don't want it from the line of credit or the loan or my relative or my loved one, you're saying to the universe, oh, the help that you sent my way, I don't want it that way. Thank you. No.
Yeah, no. It's very interesting. So I'm getting conscious of time. I also know that you have an appointment afterwards. What I find extremely interesting in what you're describing is that when we come from the perspective of being a person who wants to make things happen, which is what this show is about, you are showing us that there are complete different ways to get started. If you start with that mindset, as opposed to the traditional business plan or whatever you would want to call it, or the project approach. Sorry, I could feel it coming, the coughing. Sorry. It gives a complete different perspective. That's what I find absolutely fascinating in the work you do. I'm originally a very left brain oriented type of person, or at least that's how I've evolved in my life, because I've discovered that in reality I seem to have a fairly interesting balance between left and right brain. But that also means that for me, everything that I've been achieving so far has always been hard, pushing, masculine type of energy, where when you are embracing more of the feminine energy, you're more embracing the flow. You don't always need to understand everything in order for it to actually happen. So when you accept that, you are indeed opening the gates. And I see it in my life also. It's just happening. The most crazy things, and it's not always money related, by the way. So it's really interesting to see that if you work on your mindset first, which is why I do my work with a holistic approach, because I think that that's the foundation. If you just look at the business as a business and that's it, it makes a complete difference. I always say, one day or another there is a boomerang effect. It will come back and you have to start from scratch again somehow, because if the mindset isn't there, it won't work. So where can people find you, Maru?
Yeah, so definitely look up my name on Facebook. You can like my business page and follow my personal page. I am very active on Facebook. On Instagram, I am in Infinite Receiving. You can find me. You can find the handle there. You can also find me in infinitereceiving.com. That's where you're going to read more of my story, and you can sign up to get updates on the program. It is a beautiful, beautiful, very divinely guided and effective program, and very affordable for what you get. You get all of me. I'm very committed to my community, and I'm dedicated to helping women earn more, not just more money, but also more power, more visibility. I really feel that it's time for us to stop playing the humble card. Yeah. You know, I think we've mixed we really have it wrong when it comes to humility and humbleness. And what I mean by that is, I think we were all taught to be nice girls, accommodating, be a great mom, be a great person, be a great this, and all those things are amazing. But we've made humility and humbleness and service, we've turned it into shrinking. We've turned it into accommodating. We've turned it into people pleasing. And I am pro you standing in your power and you really speaking your truth and knowing that if other people get triggered or you rock the boat a little bit, it is the right thing to do, because by you accommodating and people pleasing, you're hurting people. You're hurting yourself and you're hurting others from receiving the lesson that they're meant to be receiving. And also you're preventing other people from showing up in their full power as well, because when you're doing other people's work or tasks, or you're taking other people's roles,
very good point,
you're not allowing them to fully show up as they need to. So the infinite receiving for me is the journey of coming into your own fully, right? And really eliminating the things that that prevent you from accepting yourself and from fully receiving the truth. And that can show up as money, love, luck, flow, you name it. But what I've experienced last year is nothing short of miraculous, and I want the same for as many women as possible all over the world. So definitely check out my stuff.
Same here. If you were to give maybe 2 or 3 tips to someone who has this idea, this dream or whatever, and is afraid to go there, what would you say?
Yeah, well, the first thing I want to say is you're never going to be alone. I think one of the reasons why we hold back, we don't speak our mind, we don't share exactly what we want to share, we have fears, is because you're afraid deep down that you're going to end up alone. We are wired to be in groups, to be in tribes. And whenever you're going to do something bold or something that could cause rejection or people not to, or to question you, deep down there's a fear of ending up alone. That you're going to do it alone and that everybody's going to cut you off. So I would say you're never going to be alone. So if you can remind yourself of that, no matter what you do, you're always going to be okay and you're never going to be alone. That's going to help you a lot. That's a huge ninja tip. Another thing that I would say is don't put all your eggs in one basket, because many times you're so excited about a project, or you think like, I'm going to be an author, I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur, and you think that your entire existence, success, it will depend on that one thing. And you know what? It doesn't. Just date the idea. Give it a try. It's kind of like take the idea of the project out on a date. Take it as far as you can, but you don't have to marry it or commit to it or go to bed with it right away. Like, see where it takes you, but always know that there's a next. Don't just put all the things in, like, it's got to be this and work out. If not, I'm dead, or something. No, the essence of the idea will evolve. And so don't be afraid that if that doesn't work out that you're dead. No, there's always a next. Yeah. And probably the third thing I would say is the best thing you can do for your family, people, tribe, former coworkers, anybody that you have loyalty to, the best thing you can do for them is to change your story and take off so far into the distance, like literally skyrocket into another orbit. So whenever you feel like, oh, but if I change, if I'm too successful, I would have to change my circle. I would have to change. What will happen? I'll be followed by the paparazzi. I won't have privacy. To all of that, I say, yes, and more, please. You want that, right? You'll deal with that. Don't worry about it. You'll cross that bridge when you come to it. But it's okay and it's safe for you to expand and go as far as you can, because then you're really going to be helping your people. Then you'll have the means to help them. Then you'll have the story to inspire them. Because right now, by staying small, staying humble, staying like wanting to help everybody and nurture everybody, you're not inspiring them. You're just pleasing them. Yeah. And you're holding yourself back and your potential back. That's not helping them. You really want to help them, go as far as you can, as fast as you can, set your eyes really high and go for that. And then you're going to find that they're going to follow you by a gravitational pull that you're creating just by stepping fully into your power. So don't worry about them. Go alone if you want. You're never going to be alone anyway. So I know those are like really deep tips.
No, and I really love it because it matches, resonates so much with the work that I'm doing. It's all about helping women reach their full potential in life and in business. So it's the same story, but we tell it in a different way. So no, this is amazing. This is amazing. I have to finish because obviously we definitely could be going on for hours with you. Not a problem.
I know.
I want
to thank you.
Sorry.
No, I wanted to thank you as well for showing up and for being the leader that you are, for bringing so much wisdom, into the space. And really, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you as well, because what you do is not easy either. I think our work is so needed in the world, and the more people that are helping other women climb and, wake up to their own power and their potential, I just honor you, for your journey and for bringing so many women this far, and for the help that you gave me when I needed it. I just want you to know that it's all making a huge difference. Sometimes you see it immediately and sometimes you don't, but it does make a difference.
It's all about role modeling and the power of the ripple effect, because the more we will be able to reach out, the more other women will be able to reach their full potential. They will shine for others and inspire others. And I keep saying that's how we will end up changing the world. So that's just amazing. So Maru, thank you so much for your time. And for those of you who are indeed listening or viewing this interview, if you too want to go after your dreams, you can go to my website to book a discovery consultation with me, and that is www.agnesvanrijn.com, ANYESVANRHIJN.com. Thank you so much, and see you in the next interview. Bye.